Okay, it is 6 o'clock. We call this meeting to order. Let's begin on this June 18th. Recording of all members present for this meeting. And next we will have the Pledge of Allegiance. And it's going to be led by Alcoa High School. Bryson, Lee, is it Bryson? Is that correct?
Yeah.
And Dr.
Okay.
Cox,
Bryson is in the 9th grade. His teachers are Coach Hall, Miss McCann, Mr. Jasser, Miss Carney, I'm gonna slur these names, Miss Lane, Miss Burbeck. He's the grandson of Jeanette Lee. His interests and hobbies are attending Tahlequah High School sporting events and competing in Special Olympics in the 100-meter run and the softball throw.
Alright.
Ready?
He watches all of your meetings.
Need somebody to do this.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We're running.
Yay.
They have a present, they have something for you.
All right, yes.
Bag of goodies that I almost opened and started eating. Thank you.
I'm gonna take a picture while you look at this one.
This Walker takes a little bit that way. He's tall.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, and I'm gonna do one this way. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
All right.
I just want everyone in the audience to know that Bryson watches all of our board meetings every month online. And
That's a dedication.
He's our top fan.
and he is, I would say, one of our top fans watching all of our sports. Remembers even to Jackson's age and knows what Jackson does in college. He follows all of our athletes. And absolutely loves our board meetings and likes to talk about them when I see him at a ball game. So we're like, we have got to get you at a board meeting, so got him on the June agenda. Thank you so much, babe.
Okay, B, Tigers Roar, and going to have a presentation from the TPS Summer Arts Camp, Miss Amy Wright.
Okay, if you are part of Summer Arts Camp, would you go stand right up here? It's okay, come on, don't be shy. You'll get on the stage in front of everybody, y'all know. There you go. This year, we have a total of, how many did we say, 97? 97 campers. Our limit was 80. We also have enough on a waiting list for a third camp, but no. And we need a minute, so, but this is just a great opportunity. Usually the shows we pick have about 20-ish parts, and so, Dan, Vivian, and I, we go through and we are just, racking our brains for something for everybody to do. So, we have at least 1 to 2 things for them to do every time they get on that stage. So, this year, Beauty and the Beast is what we're doing. They have costumes. We've already had 1 set of costumes come here and flown back to New York City. And we are going to have our next set of costumes ordered by tomorrow because we just gave out the second set of parts today for our second camp. And come on, get up there. Okay, so we've had, it's just, these are kids from all over Cherokee County. Sometimes we have people who are staying with friends from Arkansas. We've had that happen before. And it's just such a great opportunity. Theater teaches such wonderful things, cooperation, problem-solving skills, and empathy is the biggest one that we need to know how to empathize with others and how they're going to feel. And these kids just exude that. So I'm just going to let them go down the row and tell what they played or are going to play next week, okay? So
And their name.
Your name and what you play. Chip, start with you.
My name is Ryan Altaffer, and this year I played Chip.
Yeah.
My name is Zoe Pigeon, and this year I'm going to play the bookseller.
My name is Stella Fries. This year I played a milkmaid and the enchantress, and I'm also going to play Cogsworth.
She likes it a little bit. She comes twice.
My name is Audrey Fox, and I'm going to play Mrs. Potts.
My name is Charlie Calderby, and I'm going to play a villager. My name is Emery Lewis, and I'm going to play a fish.
Fishmonger.
My name is Harrison Glover, and this year I played the hat seller and villager 3.
My name is Alexis Thompson, and this year I played narrator 3.
My name is Jade Valdez, and I played a black Billy. I think that's how you pronounce it.
My name is Louie Glover, and this year I played LeFou.
My name is Joanna Dorlack, and this year I'm going to play the art. My name is Rory Eubanks, and I'm playing as the
Enchantress.
Enchantress.
Enchantress. Enchantress. Enchantress. Yep, that'll work.
And a servant. My name is Mac Eckert, and this year I played Belle.
My name is Izzy Reeve, and this year I played Lafayette.
So the La Phillies were the girls that love Gaston. So. And what else? We spend about 9 hours a day with these babies, and a lot of times, we're not getting the lunch breaks and stuff, and we're running stuff. But it's just so fulfilling to see them come so far. And like I have some kids that, like when they first start and they first have to want to audition, and they will just get up there and just break down and cry. And now they are up on a stage in front of hundreds of people, and you can just see the confidence that they exude. And we are just so thrilled. And it just takes a lot of work between they're painting, they're moving sets. This is all done by students. The only thing that Mr. Dan and I do is we help set the whole thing up. Mr. Peters, his kids, the high school kids, some of them, most of which are graduates of camp, are helping with backstage. They're the stage managers. They're doing props. They're running lights. They're running sound. So we are there for support, and the kids do it all. So it's just really cool. So the next show is going to be next Friday night and Saturday night at 6 o'clock, and it runs about an hour and 10 or so. So we would love to have you guys come down and see, right? So, and it's cool because you get kids that come to either camp, and they see each other, and it's just a neat thing. So anyways, lots of friends from this.
Can we get a picture? But I'm gonna need a second row.
If you are a shorty McShortyton, would you take a step forward?
I'm sorry, Jane.
Thank you. Thank you. You know we love you.
Yeah.
Coaches.
There, Jane. Oh.
Mr. Peters, this is an option. Come on.
I'm backstage, this is what.
You can stay in the back.
Okay, I'll go hide.
Can we squunch some more? You should probably need us to squunch. Can you squunch in? My tall people, will you turn to the side like we do sometimes in choir and squunch together? There you go.
All right, right up here. 1, 2, 3. Perfect.
Good job, guys. Guys, if you have not gone to see the show, go see the show. Number one, I was like on the second row, but there was a little girl beside me, and it was during the piece where someone screams, kill the beast. And the little girl in the audience, I don't know if you were there, she was like, no! Like, and then she looked around. I literally cried 3 times watching you guys. It was amazing. So super proud of you. Yeah, she was so in it, she thought she was gonna stop you. It was real to her. So that's how good you
Let's
did.
sing a little bit.
Tale as old as time, true as it can be. Barely even friends, then somebody bends unexpectedly. Just a little change, small to say the least, both a little scared, neither one prepared. Beauty and the Beast.
Take that. You're trying to
Oh, yeah.
What did you think?
I'm gonna go home now.
Thanks for coming.
Amy, and I'm never more proud than when I watch what you guys do.
Oh, we don't do anything, they have to do it. We just help them out.
No,
No, that's his.
they left them, so we were trying to catch them here tonight.
I was waiting, I was on a little under the table texting, but, I knew one was on the way, but I don't know if they got there and couldn't find a place to park, would be my guess.
Come back, we've already called it, I don't even think we have to table it.
Okay.
Just come back and say,
We'll pause if they show up.
it's not a vote. All right. C, do we have public to be heard?
No.
Okay, D, discussion and vote to approve the minutes for the previous meeting, the May 14, 2024 regular meeting. Do I have a motion?
Move to approve.
Okay, I'll second. Okay. Any discussion? Ms. Nemo? Aye. Dr. Eversole?
Aye.
Dr. Coffey?
Aye.
Ms. Crawford? Aye. And I. Presentation by Corbin Jarvis for the district's general liability insurance and workers' compensation insurance.
Well, you guys do not want to hear me sing.
That's a requirement.
That dance or whatever. Singing's out of the question. I assume everybody got this electronically, the proposal, a few days ago. Had time to read it and weep.
Yes.
Once again, we're presenting OSIG, Oklahoma Schools Insurance Group. OSIG is the exclusive right of Oklahoma. They have put together the program that insures, I think that there's about 5 or 6 school districts that we take outside of OSIG for property only. And it's because they have a $500 million plus in property. So OSIG's pretty much the only game in town. Now, having said that, OSIG goes to 80 different carriers. And they shop the insurance out for us. They kind of have to. Our losses have been just awful. And we had 28 losses of over $1 billion in 2023. 4 of them were in Oklahoma. It's pretty astounding. The midsection of the country is majority of the losses in our insurance. Having said that, OSIG does a fantastic job, believe it or not. I was talking to Dan and Tanya earlier. We actually have a 32-cent rate on our property, which you have a $100,000 home, your homeowners would be $302 a year. So it's an incredible rate. We have a pretty large deductible. It's just Oklahoma Public Schools owns a lot. We increased the coverage on property this year by almost $13 million, $12,792,000. this year. And 3 of that was the new athletic administration building. The other, I think 9 million or so, was simply us increasing the coverage limit on buildings and contents across the district to try and keep pace with the rising cost of construction. It just continues to go up. We are seeing some easing in that, not so much in this area, because we've got a lot of buildings on the top floor and top of us, just right. It's just pain that comes with it. And unfortunately, part of that pain is building. But in 2022, we saw an increase in cost of construction from almost 26%. In 23, they finally came out the numbers and it increased only 5.5%. Still an increase. So what we're trying to do is just keep you insured correctly. The last thing I want to do is stand in front of you at a time of loss and say, we had you underinsured. What's our bond? So we're trying to provide the coverage that's needed. I guess you guys saw the premium. We're up $72,000 this year. We've got a mandated $100,000, which is up from $75,000 last year. Part of the premium that we're at right now, and I'm beating a dead horse here. 4 years ago, our property coverage limit was $118,000 or $118 million. We're now at $208 million. That's how much of an increase we've had. The rate's up some, but the majority of it is coverage. Liability, I mean, they've got the policy tailored to school districts. There's general liability, school liability, cyber liability. One of the things that OSIG has always done is kept physical abuse coverage on an occurrence basis, which means if we've got an incident, it's 15 years old, it's still auto liability, set at court limits, and we have an umbrella on top of all this that would fall outside of court limits. It picks up an additional. Questions on any of this, since you had time to look?
But something I'd like to follow up, because I'm curious on the cyber liability insurance, if you could just email to Tanya what that covers. I don't think it was in there.
Yeah, it is, Chrissy, it's ever evolving. And I think we were talking about.
Yeah.
So it's just a list of coverages that are included in it. We keep adding to it.
That's what I'm like, I don't know what that stuff is when I look at it, but just whatever that policy is, it's sitting there.
We have stuff like crypto coverage, crypto jacking, which is where a hacker takes over the whole operating system and runs the crypto. But we have coverage in that. So, yeah, I can talk about it's a visa policy, and it is tailored to try and cover. I was asked a few years ago when we started doing cyber liability, what's this cover? And my response was, we don't even know yet. Because as soon as we come up, it's a very reactionary coverage. I mean, they come up with something new, and all of us have been hit.
The ransom thing where they, lock you down and if you don't pay whatever, they don't let you back in, and that's a big deal.
Disrupted operating system, pretty hard.
Governments and other, groups and stuff like that, so I was just a little curious about that.
Yeah, no, and it's such a weird coverage in that you can have malware in there, and I'm not a computer expert by any means. It's what I can, but you can have malware in your system operating.
Like you work with it.
And take the time to position where they want you to be, and then, it's very interesting. Every time I come away from my continuing education on cyber, I come to the district, I have no interest for anything. It's changed again, so. What's up?
I can't explain it, I'm just gonna look at it.
I believe we have another Beauty and the Beast for you today. Sweetie, do you wanna come up here for a second?
She came straight here and I told her she
Hattie,
missed
go
her
take-
friends.
we'll take a picture
We
with her.
still have to recognize her. Her name is Hattie Crouch. And I don't know her, but she's beautiful. I just met her in the.
You don't have to tell us what you played, everyone else told us what role they played. What role you played in Beauty and the Beast?
Seller and a fork.
Run the number.
Important roles, honey.
All right, we're gonna put you on the spot, Miss Hattie. What was your favorite thing about camp?
Probably the performances.
Not the high ones, I heard the high ones were great.
Hattie, the whole other group. Not up for it.
And we do have someone else that was able to get here. Chance, you wanna come up? So we had wanted you to come here tonight so we could recognize that you were our all-state baseball player this year. Do you wanna tell them a little bit about what you do, what you played, and maybe, and the award that you received?
Catch the baseball team about 4 years. The award, it was, you get nominated for like, you go through, I think it was District Player of the Year, and you get All-Star by class, and you get down to select 2 catchers.
That's awesome. It's a big wow. And what is your last name?
Hey, coaches.
The coaches.
Which makes it all that harder. I live that.
And his mom teaches first grade at Heritage.
Yes.
That's understandable. Are you going to play after high school?
Yeah, I'm gonna go play in college, just community college up in Illinois. So.
Very good. Well, we wanna take a picture and then we'll put it on our website. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Get right there.
All right, Mr. Perry, tell me your favorite thing about baseball.
The ball's in the back.
Thank you very much. You guys are welcome to stay and watch the rest of this excitement if you want, or go home and have dinner, which that's what you probably haven't done yet.
Thanks for bringing it.
Thank you.
Yes.
Hey, before we move on to the next one, can I get pictures from?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
No, is it written? Or okay. Item F, Deputy Treasurer to report and discussion and vote to approve the monthly financial reports.
Good evening. The bank balance as of May 31st was $22,363,637.08. Receipts for May for the general fund was $3,925,492.54. Building fund was $117,323.04. Co-op fund was $18,339.99. Sinking fund was $93,999.21. That brought the general fund to $10,314,828.83. Building fund, $4,073,809.23. Bond fund is still at $7,890,500. That will go down less after July, because we'll make that payment.
And the sinking fund is at $129,315.11. And you'll notice that decreased because we made a payment out of that fund. Over the activity account, at the end of May, there was $1,036,079.64 in activity funds. Utilities here. Utilities, electric, we actually paid $16,465 less from last year to this year. Gas was $718 less from last year to this year, and water was $3,304 less from last year to this year. So all the utilities was less.
That's amazing.
The light project is working.
It must be.
It is. We actually have a meeting in the morning. Meetings run together, but for them to go over some numbers and figures with us, and I'll ask Brad to come back maybe in the next month or two. They'll start to present other projects that they might want us to look at that could help us in other capacities. So I really just wanted to be very cautious with that and make sure that what they said would happen, and it so far, that is proving correct. So it's a good trend. I'm not ready to start another one yet, but I will listen, entertain, bring that to you all and see if we can do some more savings.
We have a motion on.
So moved.
I'll second.
Any more discussion?
Aye.
Dr. Eversole?
Aye.
Dr. Coffin?
Aye.
Ms. Crawford? Aye. And aye.
So my report on numbers is a little different this time of the year, but for the 24-25 school year, we already have 3,478 students that are currently enrolled. So that's a little less than we normally have, but that means currently enrolled. Not everybody gets their enrollment packet in as quickly as they're supposed to. So that's something we're working on, and that number grows every day. In fact, that number was from last week and it's probably higher today. We have 131 pre-K students, so it looks like we're starting to rebound a little bit because we almost never have that many by this time of the year. And we are hoping that we are going to have to hire another teacher to add an additional class. We need to get more of those babies back in because they do end up coming in kinder, so we would love to have them in the early childhood center to start with. Our elementaries are pretty steady where they normally are. We are updating our capacity at this meeting this evening with the students that we have now. We have a few spots available, a couple in 8th, maybe a couple in 9th, but the rest of the middle school and high school are already over capacity with just in-district students and various elementary spots open. And like I mentioned, we're right there on pre-K with the 7 teachers. Seven teachers that we have right now. But once we have enough to create another class, we will open another section. So that's how we handle pre-K. We've had as many as 10 classes at the pre-K center, and I guess last year was 7 was the lowest number that I remember having in, at least 10 years. So enrollment's doing well.
Question. So I know we changed early enrollment and it's you apply, it's time stamped, and then the spot comes open, they get in. Is there a specific date for that?
Yes, on July 1, we set capacity at this June meeting.
Okay.
July 1, we have all the time-stamped applications and they just go in order.
So we will, but if we're already at capacity with enrolled students, that means there won't be any transfer students?
There are very few transfer spots right now, yes.
And that fluctuates throughout the year, doesn't it?
That does, so like as numbers as of today, if tomorrow was July 1, we would have about, at Cherokee, for example, because it's by grade, 2nd grade has 12 spots, so that's a little bit larger, but kindergarten has no spots.
You said middle and high school were at capacity.
Middle and high school TMS, 6th grade already is a full, 7th grade is full, 8th grade has 4 spots. ninth grade full, 10th, 11th, and 12th full. Now, full to transfer students.
Right.
In-district students that come, it wouldn't matter if we were 60 over capacity, they get in. But that's for actual transfers from outside of our district.
That is, in district is also any of the K through 8, correct?
They, a K-8 student, and Dan might have to speak to this, they, once they choose us, yes, they're not transfer at that point. Thanks. Oh, that's bond update, the great things going on. The Greenwood Classroom Edition, we have finally gotten to the point where we have a plan with the roof, everything's approved, we know what we're supposed to be doing. It is not going to be ready before school starts, but I'm hoping that it would be ready, mid-September. The good thing about that is that we have those people in spaces right now, so it's not putting anyone in a hallway or anything odd. We just don't get to use a nice new building in the time that we thought we would. But when you look at that, the brick veneers done outside, it is really beginning to take shape. They even have a lot of the sheetrock done inside the building, but they have to be very specific where they can because the roof's not completely dried in. So they are doing everything they possibly can. For those of you in the audience, it is a storm shelter, so it is a very different build than a typical build. And we have run into bumps on architects agreeing with construction management, agreeing with the city, agreeing with the people we pay to be our roofing consultants to make sure that that concrete lid on that building is exactly what it's supposed to be. So that's not the kind of thing we want to do wrong. We want to do it exactly right, 100% right. So we're taking our time and making sure that gets done. And so with that comes a delay, but it'll be right. It'll be a blessing when we get it. Other things at Greenwood, obviously the parking lot was finished. We've got some new work on the awning in the front. If you go by right now, you'll see that it's being painted and it's going to be beautiful. It's not green anymore, which their Greenwood people kind of want to, throw tomatoes at me. But it was 7 shades of green because it was never painted all at one time. So, a paint 2 years later, paint again, and so it was always different. We just bit the bullet and we were painting it all at one time, a beautiful, just neutral gray. We'll have the green on the roof still, the nod to the Greenwood and other things. But it's gonna look amazing when it's finished and it will match the new piece that has been added. Cherokee Old Library bathroom, the bathrooms are ready, they're there. We're like in that final check-off list right now, so those will be ready for our babies when they come back in August. The addition, same thing, it's final cleaning, we're just doing the punch list. If you would like to, we can meet and find a time and I can take you through some of these projects so you can see it. Small groups obviously can't all go together, but I don't know if we can have a traveling board meeting. I think that might be illegal. So small groups, one-on-one, whatever we need to do, but I would be more than happy to show you the projects. Other projects, we started the high school restroom edition. I don't know if you remember, I said that we were going to add a single occupancy bathroom for students near what was the old cafeteria when I was in high school. So that has begun and should be ready for the beginning of school. We had 2 restrooms that were remodeled in the library and those are finished. Our own staff did that. We are doing a few, so now we're to that point where we know what the large projects are gonna cost. Fingers crossed, knock on wood, all the things. And we're looking at the other projects we're doing around the district. So the Telecom Middle School, the main office where kids go in for the attendance is being relocated. So it will be when you enter, the attendance office used to be on the left-hand side. It will be on the right-hand side where you actually access it between the 2 secure doors. So you have the fishbowl effect that we want. So when someone gets in, they don't get all the way into the school. Something they've wanted and had on the table for a really long time. So that's all happening right now. That also moves, removing the nurse and changing some things around there where the nurse is in a better place. It actually has a bathroom access since we're vacating the other office. Because every nurse needs a water and a bathroom in their, in their office. We've got the Greenwood painting. We did a band awning where the kids entered in the high school band room. Water just shed off. And so now there's a nice awning that will keep that from just dousing them every time we have a rain. We have AC units going on, so we've got little things everywhere. And it's super exciting to see all the progress and things that are going on. So thank you to our community that voted for something so we can do that. And stay on the side of that, because before long, we're going to be talking about a new one. And progress is never finished when it comes to all the square footage that Corbin helps us insure in this district.
No, I was listening to
Just listening. Summer school, we have, summer school ends this week, so that has flown by. Yes, we have 224 enrolled in Cherokee for the K-4 elementary summer school. We have about 202 that have attended every day, so that's our average daily attendance. That's pretty high for elementary summer school. We have 3 classes each in kindergarten through 4th. We have an ESY language class, a GT camp. They're getting a weekly art, culture, and music. We have been doing, students have a literacy and math block in the classroom each day. We've also added some guest speakers this year. Greg Bilby with Cherokee Nation came in for 2 days and did Native American storytelling. The mobile dairy farm has visited TMS in Cherokee. We have Olivia Jorgensen with Cherokee Nation coming for 3 days to do STEM activities. They attended the day performance of the Beauty and Beast last week, so that was the dress rehearsal for that first practice. Boys and Girls Club is available and comes in the afternoon for those that enrolled in that afternoon portion. And they do fun activities and field trips almost every day. And they're keeping about 145 kids in that afternoon piece. At Sequoia, we strive for a balance of developmentally appropriate foundational skills with inquiry-led activities. It may be a nice paragraph for this. They have 47 students enrolled at pre-K summer school, and about 38 stay on average every day. They walk to the library twice a week. They have fire department return this year for the water day. They will come and spray them with the fire trucks and make it a big, beautiful thing. So that'll be a fun day. We might have to attend that, shut this down and go pre-K that day.
So are those kids going into pre-K or that already did?
Already in pre-K.
So
Yes.
between pre-K and kindergarten?
Yes. THS summer school, they had from 8 to 12, Monday through Thursdays. They had 139 courses assigned with 89 students. Number of students that attended, 40. And the number of courses completed, they have 11 with 3 who most likely will complete their courses they would have by now. So that is a credit recovery type summer school, so they are getting right along on that. TMS also has more of an enrichment type summer school. They are averaging 58 students per day. They have 2 hours of math and language arts and then 2 hours of enrichments. They've done STEM, PE and archery club, Native American culture, arts and crafts, cooking club. Every Thursday, they go on a field trip. They've been to the Tellico Public Library, fishing at the Methodist Home, Natural Falls State Park as a trip, and the final trip will be a hot dog cookout and game day at Arrowhead Resort. The Southwest Dairy Farmer also paid them a visit at their summer school. So it has been super busy in all of those buildings, and we're just very glad that we can provide those opportunities for our kids. And it would be naive of me not to point out that these are things that are we can provide because of 21st century grants. And as we all know, we know we're going to be down one, and we are waiting expectantly and hopefully that we receive the grant we have rewritten for Greenwood and Heritage. In the absence of $600,000 of money from the state for the after-school program and summer school program, those will look markedly different next year. So think positive thoughts. I wanted to celebrate a little bit about our ag barn. I challenged Carl Wallace, and I'll never do that again, to get $100,000 in donations and we would build a barn. Well, we are well over $100,000 in donations at this point. Cherokee Nation has been our largest donator. They've given us $75,000 towards the ag barn. We have many others that have done large, and most of them want to remain anonymous. So like, we just want to give to the kids. But I will give a shout out over the next month or two on anyone that is comfortable with me saying what they have given for us towards the barn. The public has been extremely thankful, or supportive of this, and, you know, we're very thankful. So we will celebrate, everyone that lets us celebrate them. We are working with our architect, that we are working with our bond projects right now, making sure that we are going through all the appropriate steps, that it's gonna be put exactly where it needs to be. We have talked about various sites, but I believe we are 99.9% certain that we're going to be able to put it behind the ag classroom we have right now between the high school and the middle school. And that's good because then we won't have to shuttle kids. It's also good because at some point we would love to be able to have it back as an 8th grade or middle school elective, so kids can get there. So it's a good spot for it. We just had to, you know, go over, we're doing all the things that we need to do to make sure we're putting it in the appropriate place. And that we're putting it in a place that 10, 20 years from now, if we wanna do anything else in that space, we wanna make sure that it's where it can stay forever. So that's awesome. We are hosting a GE summer training this week at Greenwood. We have so much PE going on. We have 31 team members attending the Model Schools Conference the last week of June. 4 staff members and 6 SROs that are going to the National School Safety Conference in Phoenix in July. And I just saw something on Facebook recently about someone that was visiting Phoenix last week and their flip-flops melted in early June, so I don't know what's gonna happen to us when we go in July. We might melt, but melt some fat off, I'd be fine, I don't know. So that's something that's going on. We have summer PD series that we've talked a little bit about that Lacey and people have put together, and they have 20 different sessions, anywhere from trauma, dyslexia, GT, great expectations, some more relationships, core academics. Our stipends for our TPS employees that attend that get a stipend for coming to that training. And we also open it up to area school districts. You know, we really love to be the hub for this county, and we have so many great things that we can offer, and we made that available to all the superintendents, and we want their teachers to come too. Their students a lot of times become our students, so we need to work together. Those are just a few of the things, because I've already talked longer than I thought I was going to, so I try to keep it short. I know Brittany's been working with you guys about OSSBA in August, and legislatively, the district leadership attended COSA this last week. We attended multiple sessions on new legislation, and we're combing through those right now, looking for all the changes and preparing for policy. I know I've mentioned to you individually that we will have to have a special board meeting next week to have some policies ready by July 1. We don't have the sample policies yet to work with. If we do not have sample policies by next week, we will write simple policy ourselves and then go back and edit it if we need to in July. But we do have to have some policies prepared by July 1. We were lucky enough to hear John Gordon and Todd Whitaker at the sessions, both fantastic, well-renowned leadership speakers, and so that was really good. And I think we left feeling energized and refreshed and ready to get started again. And the last thing I added at the last second, I want to shout out to Robert Batson, because guys, he's getting our $34,000 back from AT&T. He just wasn't gonna let it go, and they finally, he forwarded an email late today that said, listen, we'll get you your money back, we just hope that this is gonna be okay, forgive us. But if you missed the board meeting before, we were hit with a bunch of fees that we didn't anticipate, and we're pretty much told you need to pay today or we're sending you to collections, which is a really big deal for a school district. So we paid the bill and we're going to get our money back, so thank you.
All right.
Well, you got it.
Thank you. That's what happens with Rockstar. And that's my report.
And real quick, since you talked about celebrations, David Spears, class of '79, had their reunion last weekend, and Brad took them through Central.
Yes.
They'd all be willing to give $100. I really think you need to think about that campaign. You know,
So we're
because
doing,
this is the 100th year anniversary of the high school graduation.
and we've got a lot of things going on. I've got a lot of people walking through there. Trying to get some, numbers so that we can really go out to the community and say, this is really what that's gonna cost us, this is how we're gonna do it. We have been, working through list of possible partners, as construction management architects, and we will narrow that down to a couple and see if you want them to come present to you, or if you want them to just present to us, and I'll present a final to you all. We'll figure out how you guys want to handle that, but I really hope to have all that done in September, October at the latest. And that would give us 2 years to prepare for what should be able to be a potential vote in the fall of '26. We've already worked internally on the things that we think we need across the district. That was one of the first steps we wanted to do, and then we're going to build a team of people from outside the district, say, these are the things that, we know we need, we want, what do you want for, Tahlequah 10, 15 years down the road? And then we will put that list together once we have hired people to work with. And then
again, your vision for that is that
I would like Central to be an education service center.
education service.
This building, all the offices in this building would be housed in that building. We have other office, like a personnel annex, so we have people that work with us, everything that they do, but they're not in the same space. That's super hard. So we are spaced out here. We have so many partners in the community, like Boys and Girls Club. The Boys and Girls Club office is in the old dressing room of Central. I mean, literally it's like a bunker. We work with TSET, we work with all kinds of community partners that we could talk about space that we do there. There is a beautiful auditorium that we all used when we were students there that will become this room. You've seen how many people we like to bring to board meetings. We can't put all the people in a board meeting that I think would attend if there was space. You could do small community theater in that room. We can do professional development in that room. We'll have classrooms where they can come and work with, Sabrina teaches people all over the state how to do things. I mean, shout out to Sabrina. I mean, every organization we work with asks her to come train. She trains all over the state. Why couldn't she do something like that with high school students in our business classes? There are so many things that we could do in that space. And we've already talked about how the county, when we want to be the hub for them, we want them to be able to do PD. That's what we can do in that center. It's not gonna be cheap, but that building has sat empty for close to 20 years. And it's my passion project. I do not want it to sit empty. When I graduate to retirement from this job, which is what I hope I get to do, ladies, I want that to be used for a purpose for our community. And in the absence of us doing something with it, the only thing I know we can do is sell it. And I don't think people want to do that. I think it's very important to our community. It's the first high school, and she's talking about it's the 100-year anniversary of the first graduating class from that. Two men graduated 100 years ago in May. I went to school there, high school students for years. Yes, I mean, it's history, it's steeped in history of this town. So renovating a building is not cheap, but it's doable. It's doable with our community support. So obviously, you can tell I'm a little bit passionate about that.
Oh, I'm excited.
I'm excited about it.
Okay, anything else?
No, ma'am.
Item H, discussion and vote to approve Sabrina Garner and Lacey Wilson as the authorized signers on federal claims for the Tahlequah Public School District for the fiscal year of 2024-25.
I'll make that motion. Second.
Any discussion? Ms. Nemo?
Aye.
Dr. Eversole?
Aye.
Dr. Cobb? Aye. Ms. Crawford?
Aye.
And aye. Item I, and bear with me, I'll read this. Discussion and vote to approve the certificate of authority. Superintendent Tanya Jones is appointed as the delegate of authority on behalf of the Tahlequah School District I-35 to deal with any state and federal governmental division in regard to spending of state or federal monies and to the compliance of the district with funding requirements, civil rights laws, special education related statutes. The superintendent shall have authority to complete and submit necessary governmental forms, provide governmental agencies with requested information, make application for governmental funds, and present all acts needed to comply with state and federal law requirements for the receipt of grant money and for the protection of civil rights of employees and students. Programs include Titles 1, 2, 3, and 4, and formula grants, Title 7 Impact Aid, and 6 Indian Education, Johnson O'Malley, IDEA programs, all discretionary competitive grants, adult basic education, Title IX official, and supervisor of 504 designations. Deanne Mashburn or Carl Reitenauer shall be designated as the local contact person and the individual authorized to sign in the absence of the superintendent.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Ms. Nemo.
Aye.
Dr. Eversole.
Aye.
Dr. Cobb.
Aye.
Mrs. Crawford. Aye. And I. Sorry, you said Stephanie. Item J, discussion and vote to approve the designation of purchasing agents and receiving clerks for each school site as follows. We've got a list of purchasing agents and receiving agents.
I make a motion to approve.
Any discussion? Ms. Nemo.
Aye.
Dr. Eversole.
Aye.
Dr. Cobb.
Aye.
Ms. Crawford. And I. Item K, discussion and vote to approve activity account descriptions for the 2024 fiscal year.
I make the motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Ms. Nemo.
Aye.
Dr. Eversole.
Aye.
Dr. Cobb. Ms. Crawford. And I. Discussion and vote to approve the following surplus, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion. Second.
Any discussion? Ms. Nemo.
Aye.
Dr. Eversole.
Aye.
Dr. Coughlin.
Aye.
Ms. Crawford. And I. M, business items. Consent docket vote to approve the following. 1, 1 through 4. Under different, okay.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Ms. Nemo.
Aye.
Dr. Eversole.
Aye.
Dr. Coughlin.
Aye.
Ms. Crawford. And I. Are in. Board to consider and take action on a motion approving the renewal of a lease purchase for the fiscal year ending June 30, 2025, as required under the provisions of the equipment lease purchase agreement dated September 1st, 2020, between the district and the MR Incorporated.
I'll make that motion.
Have a second? Any discussion? What is MR?
Yeah, what is it?
Both N and O are what we have to do for bond, on some of our bonds are lease
Okay,
purchasing,
that's-
so every year
That sounds
during
familiar.
that time frame that will come up.
Okay.
It's the same thing on N and O.
Ms. Nemo.
Aye.
Dr. Eversole.
Aye.
Dr. Coughlin.
Aye.
Ms. Crawford. And I. O, board to consider and take action on a motion approving the renewal of the sublease agreement dated September 1st, 2022 between the district and Tahlequah Educational Facilities Authority for the fiscal year ending June 30, 2025, as required by the provisions of the agreement.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Ms. Nemo?
Aye.
Dr. Eversole?
Aye.
Dr. Coffin?
Aye.
Ms. Crawford? And I. E, discussion and vote to approve the Indian Capital Technology Center instructors, Andrea McElmurray as the adjunct instructor for academic credit in anatomy, and Amanda Butler and Gil Brown as adjunct instructors for academic credit in advanced math and science courses for the 2024-25 school year. I have a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? What classes do Mr. Brown and Ms. Butler teach? I mean,
Math.
Like the advanced
It's the
math
school
stuff.
math
like,
and
yes,
science.
OSSM.
yeah, I know, but is it physics or
It's physics and
calculus?
Calculus.
Okay, physics, calculus, okay.
They're great.
Ms. Nemo?
Aye.
Dr. Eversole?
Aye.
Dr. Coffin?
Aye.
Ms. Crawford? And I. Discussion and vote to approve Indian Capital Technology Center Muskogee campus instructor Jessica McKinney as adjunct instructor for academic credit in anatomy for the 2024-25 school year. Have a motion?
I'll make that motion. I'll second.
Any discussion? Ms. Neiman?
Aye.
Dr. Eversole?
Aye.
Dr. Kaufman?
Aye.
Ms. Crawford? And I. R, discussion and vote to approve revisions to the 2024-25 school calendar, changing May 21st to the half-day and adding a parent-teacher conference on February 13th. Get a motion and second, and then we'll have a discussion.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yes, after meeting with our principals, after meeting with TEA, they decided that they had originally thought they could do without that February or any parent-teacher conference time in the second semester, and that just wasn't
Why they done
realistic.
that?
I'm not sure why it was decided to start with, but they realized the error of their ways. And so we were able to add back in 3 hours on an evening by making the Accent and Excellence Day into a half day.
Okay.
Yes, so that evens out without changing anything else on the calendar.
Sounds good. And I think it's advisable, but we should be able to change, try to make changes if they think it's necessary, and then go back if you discover it's not working.
Yes, ma'am, I think we have to be flexible and, take feedback.
All right. Ms. Neiman?
Aye.
Dr. Eversole?
Aye.
Dr. Kaufman?
Aye.
Ms. Crawford? And I. Item S, discussion and vote to approve the first read of the following handbooks manuals for the 2024-25 fiscal year, 1 through 12, so.
Are they all on there, or does the athletic one need to be out till next week?
No,
Okay,
we can do the first read since we
Okay.
know we'll have to edit.
okay,
There will be other edits on here after all of the dust settles from legislation.
I'll make that motion.
Any discussion? Ms. Nemo?
Aye.
Dr. Eversole?
Aye.
Dr. Coffin?
Aye.
Ms. Crawford? And I. T, discussion and vote to approve the adoption, revision, and/or review of the following policies. Motion.
Move to approve T1 through 3.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
School hours policy, student transfer policy, or something that all was done this the school security surveillance cameras, we didn't have a policy, and we needed one. And so we had a sample policy from OSSBA and just made sure that it works for what we do in our district. Like who can see the surveillance cameras, when we use those, where they're placed, just so something we have out in policy for the public to see.
Any further discussion? Ms. Nemo?
Aye.
Dr. Eversole?
Aye.
Dr. Conklin?
Aye.
Ms. Crawford?
Aye.
And aye. Discussion and vote to approve the schedule of encumbrances. 1 through 6. I have a motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Ms. Nemo? Aye. Dr. Eversole?
Aye.
Dr. Conklin?
Aye.
Ms. Crawford? And aye. Executive session B.
I'll make that motion.
Let me read this
Uh,
first, let me use the motion. Executive session authority, 25 Oklahoma statute 307B, 1, 2, and 7. The board proposes to discuss the following matters during its closed session. 1, superintendent evaluation, part 1 of 4 parts, and board superintendent relationships and staff relations, and then human resources, HR. So those are the 2 domains that we will discuss. Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Ms. Nemo? Aye. Dr. Eversole?
Aye.
Dr. Coffin?
Aye.
Ms. Crawford? Aye. Acknowledgement of the award, I'm just moving on.
Go for it.
Let us acknowledge the board's return to open session at 8:40. Item X, statement over what took place in our executive meeting. We looked at the superintendent's evaluation, 2 parts of a 4-part evaluation. And no vote was taken. Okay, 1. Motion and vote to approve personnel items 1, 2, 3, and 4.
I have a motion to approve Y 1, 2, 3, and 4 with the inclusion of Arden Sampson, School-Based Family Services Liaison, Donnie Phillips, School-Based Family Services Specialist, Griselda Bailey, Sequoia Paraprofessional pending certification, Lindy Davenport, Cherokee Part-Time Para pending certification, Sheridan Kent, Heritage Teacher pending certification, Jacqueline Carlin, TMS Teacher pending certification, Nick Highsmith, Central Counselor pending certification, Victoria Ruiz, Child Nutrition Office Manager.
I second.
Any discussion? Ms. Nemo? Aye. Dr. Eversole?
Aye.
Dr. Coughlin?
Aye.
Ms. Crawford? Aye. And aye. Any new business?
No, ma'am.
And we are adjourned.
Thank you.